Welcome back, football fans. Merry Christmas, ho ho ho, and all that. It is Boxing Day. This one's actually going to go out on Christmas Day, but if you're watching it on Boxing Day, hello. If you're watching it on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a great day, taking a little bit of a break, checking out YouTube. I understand that, absolutely. I'm in a hotel at the moment, so no green screen, but I was really desperate to get a video out for Boxing Day because we've got some wonderful fixtures, some Christmas crackers, you could say. This is what it looks like in the Premier League. Let's take a quick look through the fixtures, and then we'll dig into them. I've got some new data points to show you as well. You can now plot XG on the results tab. If you're not sure what that means, we will get into that in a moment. City Everton. It's not a foregone conclusion now, is it, when you think about Man City? Last game that they played, I thought, this is it. This is going to be the game. And they were pretty terrible, again, to be honest. There's just something missing. I think there's got to be something as well with the charges. I think maybe some of the players and the staff have been told by the lawyers, potentially, this could be the outcome. It's not looking great, you know, that kind of thing. And it's affected the mindset and the performance of the players. Maybe some players have got one eye on the exit door. Who knows? Chelsea, Fulham, West London derby. That is second against ninth. Chelsea in very good form at the moment. Of course, they drew with Everton, who incidentally, I mean, they're away at Man City, as we just saw. It is 5 clean sheets in the last 6 games now for Everton, as we will check out in a moment. So Chelsea-Fulham, actually pretty tough to call because Fulham having a great season in their own right. Bournemouth against Palace. I'm edging towards a home win, but again, we will check the data. We're going to look at the football form guide as well for that one. And by the way, let me know what you think on all of these games by getting your predictions in the comments. I want to hear from you. How is your Christmas going? Are you going to a game on Boxing Day? It's a big thing in England, isn't it? Boxing Day away games. My team, Blackpool, they're at Wrexham. Now, that is a pretty good Boxing Day away day, if you ask me. Newcastle hosting Aston Villa, fantastic fixture that. Maybe not for the Villa fans on Boxing Day, making that trip and having to sit at that altitude as well at Newcastle. Southampton, West Ham, interesting game to call. They got a draw, didn't they, in the first game under the new manager, and West Ham still with Lopetegui at the helm. I think Southampton will score in this game. I know that's not anything radical to say, but I think they've got a good chance of winning this game, and the fans will actually be expecting a performance under the new gaffer. Forest Spurs, the Nuno derby. What will happen there? Get your comments in as predictions in the comments. And Wolves at Manchester United. You just don't know, do you, with Wolves at the moment? New manager, massive bounce in his first games, and not much of a bounce for Manchester United, and Ruben Amorim lost 3-0 at home to Bournemouth in the previous round. And then the late game in the Premier League on Boxing Day night, is Liverpool hosting Leicester City. That could be a little bit dangerous for Leicester City, who were conceding for fun at the start of the second half the other day, and Liverpool they put 6 past Tottenham, didn't they? Are Tottenham better than Leicester at defending? I'm not too sure. They're both pretty bad. Now, let's jump to the football form guide and see who, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands here, out of all English teams are performing the best. That was a terrible segue, but let's jump to the football form guide. This is the football form guide. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It is the form guide for football, and there are so many data points here that you can look at. So if we just go on BTTS here, we can see that Brighton, 10 out of the last 10 games have ended with BTTS. That's pretty good, isn't it? They're playing Brentford, who are second in this list. There you go. What do you guess that the odds are? Put your thoughts down in the comments. I've not looked. I'm just doing this off the cuff because I'm pressed for time. The off the cuff videos are sometimes the best ones, to be honest. So BTTS, I'm going to say about 1.53, but it could be 1.44. They are 2 popular spots, aren't they? It's likely, isn't it? Brighton have not looked great defending. It is an away game for Brentford, so I wouldn't expect them to win at all. Crystal Palace also 8 of the last 10, and the same goes for Fulham, who are away at Chelsea as well. So what we can also look at, if you wanted to just check goals scored, let's see who's scored. And we've got 3 teams here that have scored in 10 of the last 10 games. Liverpool, no surprise. Bournemouth, 10 in the last 10. And Brighton as well, 10 out of the last 10. And if we go to the other end, we can see that Everton have only scored in 3 of their last 10 games. But defensively, I think they've got the best defensive record in the Premier League at the moment. If we take a look here, let's have a look at goals conceded. So Ipswich have conceded in 10 of the last 10. We can go to Everton and see again that it is 3, which is remarkable. So 7 out of the last 10 games, they have kept a clean sheet. They're just, as we saw, not scoring enough goals. Can Sean Dyche find that balance? To be fair to them, they've had some tough games recently. 0-0 against Arsenal, 0-0 against Chelsea, and now they've got Man City. 3 0-0s, that is Dyche's Christmas wet dream, let's be honest. Now, what this page allows you to do, which is going to be super useful for Boxing Day, is go and view the 92. So you can click the 92, which is basically the EFL 92. That's just, I mean, it does what it says on the tin. I'm not trying to, create anything too fancy here. Games won, it'll put it back to the default, which is last 6. Let's actually go. Should we keep it last 6? Because that sort of means that this is December and maybe a little bit of November form, so you can see who's coming into the Christmas period in the best of form. Sheffield United, by the way, they're in second. Their defensive record recently, and they're playing Burnley, so we can take a look at that game. I'll open it in a new tab. Excuse me, but Sheffield United recently, this could be a game for unders, but again, the odds are going to be terrible. Burnley hardly conceding, Sheffield United hardly conceding, both going for that sort of 1 or 2 spot in the Championship. Birmingham have won 6 out of 6. They won on Christmas Eve as well. They won 1-0 away from home, and now they host Burton, who have won just 1 of the last 6. So we'll open that one in a new tab, because I'm thinking of a potential treble, double chance treble between the 3 teams, the 3 major teams at the moment in League One, because they are all unbeaten in the last 5 games. Birmingham, Wrexham and Wycombe Wanderers. I do think, and I said it on a previous video as well, that I think Wycombe will drop off. They won 11-12 games in a row, which is fantastic for any team, scoring a lot of goals as well, but I do think they'll drop off, and it'll be Birmingham and Wrexham fighting for that top spot. And we can see as well Chelsea in here. Let's have a look at the teams at the bottom of this list. Who is winless? Are there any teams that are winless? There are. Plymouth are winless in 6 games. Wayne Rooney, how long do you have left? They are they are away at Coventry under Frank Lampard. We'll check out his recent results, because that could be a decent game there in terms of the odds, because I think the bookies might find that difficult to call, because Coventry not in the best of form either. I think they lost the second game under Frank Lampard. Stoke City hired the coach from Norwich, didn't they, and thought that he was going to be the saviour. They are winless in 6. Southampton winless in 6. Southampton, double chance. I'm going to have a look at that. I think that's a pretty decent option. Boxing Day fixture, they're going to be right up for it. New manager, all that, just general bias stuff. Oxford also winless. Fleetwood Town winless. Charlie Adam there not having the best of times at the minute. They started the season well, but goal scoring has always been an issue for them. Cardiff City winless. They are away at Oxford, who I believe have sacked their manager as well, which was a surprise to many EFL fans if you saw that. So that could be an interesting one to look out for. Cardiff City against Oxford. Right, let's take a look at a few of the games that we have just opened in a new tab. The first game was Sheffield United and Burnley. This is a 3 p.m. kickoff, Thursday the 26th, Boxing Day. Time and days don't exist around this period, do they? You just sort of go with the flow. They're unbeaten at home, Sheffield United, and I just want to show you some new features here. We can first look at their home form. They have not conceded a goal since the opening weekend. That is remarkable. I was going to say amazing, marvellous, remarkable, all at the same time. That's what that sound was. And that is bonkers, really. Chris Wilder doing the job that he's been employed to do, which is get them back into the Premier League. It's crazy, isn't it, really, that a team can be this good in the Championship and then go up and just be so far off it. I guess that shows the difference in quality levels now between the Premier League and the Championship. Burnley's form looks like this. Many clean sheets as well, and not many games going over 2.5 goals. In fact, I can't see one. I can see 2 in the last 2 games. Bloody hell, Joe, there you go. But if we look at goals conceded here, 2 goals conceded, and of course both of them coming in one game, and just 5 goals conceded away from home for Burnley. But Burnley have failed to score in 36% of games. There's been a few 0-0s in there, and if we look at this, over 2.5 goals in just 18% of games. So if we look at the odds, it kind of does reflect that data. Over 2.5 goals, 2.45. It is actually a value bet based on the probability model. The model is giving you odds of 2.01. Over 1.5 goals, 1.35. I guess you could have a sort of 1-1 game. I just think this is a game that both of these teams will not want to lose, given that it's Boxing Day as well. You do get some sort of tired legs depending on what kind of food and beer has been allowed by managers. You know, some players are allowed to have a big Christmas dinner, others it is quite strict, unfortunately. But as you can see there, Sheffield United clean sheet in 90% of games. For that reason, the probability model has Sheffield United as favourites, 2.33, and the odds for a home victory are 2.46, so not too much difference. But I think if we're looking at double chance options or draw no bet options for this Boxing Day special, Sheffield United go into my list. I'm going to favourite them and come back to that later. What about you? What do you think is going to happen in this game? Let us all know in the comments. And if you've got any championship games that you're looking at, get them in the comments. Now let's jump to the next fixture. We're going to League One now, and it is Birmingham City against Burton. And we can see as well another unbeaten home team, Birmingham City, on fire. They had scored 2 or more goals in each of the last 5 games before that Christmas Eve win away at Crawley. I think that's a fantastic win. You know, nobody wants to be playing in that slot, 23rd at night time, away from home, but they just went there and got the job done. And at home, they are looking fantastic. Not as good as Sheffield United. Let's have a look at the odds. I'm going to guess around 1.36, 1.22, and the probability model gives them 1.48. So it's negative value, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set an alert on this. Let me know if it is 1.6. Maybe there is a sluggish start by both of these teams on Boxing Day. Maybe they go 1-0 down, and I would most certainly back them to bring it back. Double chance, draw, no bet. So I was thinking about that double chance treble, wasn't I? But it's absolutely not worth it, 1.06. Usually you get decent odds sometimes, certainly for Wrexham. We'll check them out in a moment. But for this one, Birmingham, they are a strong team. If you want to put them on a home wins acca, I couldn't blame you for that. We will check out the BetSlip Generator on this channel, on this video as well, because there have been some updates as well. Right, let's jump to the next game that we opened. Coventry Plymouth, the ex-England players, legends game. Plymouth winless away from home, and dearie me, their away record is abysmal. If you just take a look at that, they are conceding for fun, and they've failed to score in the last couple of games. I think Wazza is on his last legs, and he also might get sacked soon. But yeah, he's just not really performing, is he? I know he's not got the biggest budget in the world. We all know that, but one win since early October. The games come thick and fast, and he's not winning any of them. 3-3 at home to Middlesbrough, and they're away from home in this game, which doesn't bode well for him. And for Super Frank, Fat Frank, as some people used to call him, this is his record. I believe his first game was Cardiff City, but he'd only been in the job a couple of days, so 2 defeats, 2 wins and a draw, let's call it, or maybe just 2 wins and 2 defeats, because again, you know, the Cardiff game, he was there, you know, not even one training session or something. Millwall away, beating Millwall away was a fantastic win, to be fair. Played West Brom, tricky game, especially, you know, given the circumstances. And Hull City, they won at home, went to Portsmouth, and I think they went 1-0 up in that game and then conceded 4. At home, Coventry are unbeaten in 3 games. They've scored in all but 1 game this season. So keep that in mind when you make your selections, because I imagine the odds are not great here. 1.33, come on, give us something a bit more than that. What about Coventry to score more than once? Let's have a look at the probability model for this one. 1.5 odds for the model. That is 66%. We will do a fixture simulation, and we get a 1-0 victory. 1-0 victory from the simulation. I actually fancy Coventry to score more than once. What about you? Let us all know in the comments. BTTS is 1.8 for this one. Just jumped to Bet365 here. Over 2.5 goals, 1.5. I would maybe think that over 2.5 goals is safer, because Plymouth away from home, absolutely dreadful. And Coventry to score more than once, you won't believe this, 1.36. That is absolutely terrible. So let's jump to another game. Southampton hosting West Ham then. They've got a new manager. Is there going to be a new manager bounce in this game? These are the kind of odds that I was hoping for. 3.25 makes it nice for a double chance. I think this new manager he's going to be pretty sturdy, I think. He's not going to rock the boat too much. 0-0 in the first game. And he says, there's plenty we can improve on. They're not going to be making the same mistakes that Russell Martin was making. And they've not got the worst team in the world. Technically, they're a pretty good team. We know that they can keep the ball forever, but they just can't do anything with it. I think maybe this manager might let them cross the ball, might let them kick the ball more than, you might let the goalkeeper kick the ball outside of his own half. Maybe. I know it's a push. Maybe. We'll see. But double chance for Southampton. I'm feeling it. What about you? Let us know in the comments. So I'm going to add that to my slip. This is the first of my selections. And of course, we will be doing Man versus Machine in this episode. We've missed it for a few episodes. I've been travelling around and whatnot. It's Christmas. Not been at the home. No studio. You know how it is when you try to make YouTube videos. We hit 20,000 as well, so thank you all for that. Fantastic milestone. I'm going to put more of a focus into YouTube going forward into the new year. X, Twitter, whatever you call it, I'm going to automate it. It's just going to be lists of the games that are played, top teams for this, because there's no point me putting in the time I do for Twitter. I've just realised you watching this, you don't even care about what I'm saying. You don't need to know this, do you? But basically, X, since Elon Musk took it over, the engagement and followers was going like this, and now it's just it's not like that. I'm not losing followers. It's just like this, and I'm not doing anything different. I'm not doing anything different. I put so much work into X, but it's just not worth it. So YouTube is the place to be. And 20,000. Thank you. This is Southampton or draw. Let's jump back to the football form guide and see what other teams are performing well or not in the EFL. So we'll now look at goals scored across the last 6 games, all EFL teams. Remember, you can use this tool, oddalerts.com/form guide. I will pop it in the description as well. Chelsea, 19 goals in the last 6 games. They are in form. Newcastle, 17 goals, and quite a few of them have been from the man, Alexander Isak. Isak to score or assist against Aston Villa? What do you think? Get it in the chat. Let me know what you think about that one. Odds probably under evens because he is absolutely incredible at the moment. Liverpool with 16 goals, 6 of them against Spurs on Sunday. Tottenham away at Forest. I think people might just gravitate towards, Spurs, more goals. I don't think so. I think this could be a very tight, narrow game. Forest looking to break on Spurs, exploit those holes which are absolutely there. Chris Wood could have a very good day against Archie Gray if that is the case, let's be honest. So I'm not going to write off Forest in that game. BTTS could be an option, to be fair, couldn't it? But again, if we're going double chance, Forest or draw, I'm not sure on the odds. We'll open this game in a new tab, and this is the one I will use just quickly to show you. Let's have a look at the odds. Sorry if this video is a bit rambly, but I'm just doing it off the cuff. This is just me doing my research, a bit of it anyway, for Boxing Day, so I hope you appreciate this kind of format. I just want to show you something that was pushed a couple of days ago. So this is the results tab, and now what you can do, scroll all the way down. One of the first things that was added is corners now get separated like this, and as does cards. So you can now see a breakdown for the cards, in terms of the score line, who had the most cards. And also what has been added, the same thing for shots, which is really nice, so we can see who had the most shots in this game. If we look at Forest's home games here, we can see 17 shots to 8, 12 to 7, 9 to 17 when they played Newcastle. And what you can also do now, you've got all the data in here, and new data that was added, XG added to this, which is really, really interesting. If you want to see something cool, go and look at Bournemouth's XG recently. They are absolutely smashing it. If you look at their home games, 2 against Villa, well done Forest. 1.9 against Ipswich, 0.8 against Newcastle. They didn't turn up in that game, did they? 0.8 against West Ham as well, 1.5. Average about 1.5, 1.6, would you say there? that's something I could maybe do, an average at the top. Good idea, Joe. We've also got XG4 if you just wanted to highlight that. And we can do it for Tottenham away from home as well. 2.9 against Southampton. Probably just 2.9 in the first half, wasn't it? They were 5-0 up or something. 1 against Bournemouth, 2.7. They've had some good games at Tottenham. Going forward, that's not the issue, is it? What you can also check is XG against. 4.8 for Liverpool in that previous game. And we've got on here as well the pressure percentage. So who controlled the game, who was applying the most pressure, and also possession. So possession 4 at home, it's around 50%, isn't it, for Forest? What about away from home? It drops quite drastically. It's 30%. They've got a few 20s in there as well. For Spurs away from home, they are still dominating the ball. So Forest will look to break on Spurs in this game, no doubt about that, and they've got the capability to do it. I'm going to jump to Bet365 and just take a look at what is on offer for this game. So as always, let me know in the comments what you're thinking for this one. What are your predictions for these games? I'm eager to see your comments, kind sir or lady. But I mean, I've seen the data on this channel. I think it's 0.9% of you are female. So to the one female that is watching this video, so Forest 2.3 to get the win. For Forest to score 1.16. So actually the bookies are expecting Forest to score at least. What about Tottenham? 1.2. And this is what I kind of like to do before I look at the odds for BTTS and for over 1.5 goals and over 2.5 goals. For me, that's too low, BTTS, 1.44. That's what I was going to look at, because that's what I think will happen in the game, to be honest. Forest or draw, 1.4. Tottenham do have the capability to get a couple of goals quite quickly, don't they? So we will leave that. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments. We're going to jump back to the 92, and we'll take a look at some other data points here. Teams to get the most cards. Everton, 5 out of the last 6. Now, this is interesting because previous to them playing the bigger teams as they have recently, Everton were at the bottom of the charts for all of the sort of card ranking tables and stuff. But now they are top and they're playing Man City. I'm not going to put this on the slip just because it is the 12:30 game, so I think you don't want to ruin the bet slip, before it's even begun, kind of thing. But that is interesting to know. Everton to get the most cards away at Man City. Team to get the most corners leads 6 of the last 6. Chelsea against Fulham, and again, we'll check out these, but the bookies are going to be right on it. I absolutely think that the odds are going to be shocking. Corners, Chelsea 1.5 at home to get the most corners. 1.5. I actually think that's worth adding, to be honest. Where were Fulham in this list? Fulham, I'm not seeing them here. They are there. So 3 of the last 6, so 50% of their games. That's quite interesting. We can obviously use this tool further to look for corners for, corners against, and we will do that here. Corners for, where do Fulham rank in this list? So it's Leeds again at the top, Sunderland doing well at the moment, and we've got a lot of teams in here, haven't we? Chelsea there are 10th, and Fulham 33. You can see in the brackets that's the team that they're facing, so 33 compared to 41. We will just do some deeper digging is what I was going to say there. Deeper digging into this, and we'll go to the corners tab for that. And we are looking at home against away. We can see that actually more corners, generally speaking, away from home for Fulham. They've had 47, 5.88 away from home compared to 49 for Chelsea. If we look at the last 6 games, however, it jumps up, doesn't it? And we can see the last 5 games, 33 for Chelsea compared to 28. And yeah. Let's have a look at the odds for this game, actually. Chelsea to get the most corners, 1.5. What about the full-time result? 1.48 for Chelsea. That could be an interesting double. Chelsea to win and to get the most corners. I actually quite like that. I think Chelsea will bounce back. I don't believe that there was too much wrong with Chelsea. I saw a lot of Chelsea fans on Twitter, screaming at the manager, should have done this, should have done that. But Everton are such a hard team to go and play. They're just so rigid. They just close down. You don't have any space to operate. Cole Palmer couldn't even turn on the ball. He was suffocated. And Everton were unlucky not to score, to be honest. So At the moment, we're having the double there, Chelsea to win and most corners, but that could change given what we see further down. So let's take a look at goals conceded here, shall we? Because this could be good for BTTS. We've got BTTS here now. In terms of the last 6 games, Swansea. That is interesting because Swansea, like Burnley, were having so many clean sheets. Now they are conceding 6 BTTS games in the last 6. Accrington Stanley away at Tranmere. That is a interesting game. Tranmere 4 out of the last 6. Brentford, Brighton. Let's take a look at that. I said we were going to look at that for BTTS, right? Brentford, Brighton. Where are you? It is on the Friday, this one. So we take a look. Just to see what it is, we won't put it on the slip. 1.5, I said 1.53, didn't I, at the start of the video? 1.5 is pretty decent. I imagine it'll drop. Just interesting to note as well for Fulham, they have scored in every away game since the opening day of the season. Can they continue that run at Stamford Bridge? Chelsea at home lost just once to Man City. Man City of all teams. So this tool also allows you to see cards. We can look at total yellow cards. Bolton, 40 cards in the last 6 games. Ian Everett's under pressure there, isn't he? He has got the backing of the board apparently in recent times. You've got throw-ins, goal kicks, offsides, tackles, fouls. Fouls committed, it's Bolton again. Those players are really playing for him. Shots on target for Chelsea, 56. They are in a league of their own, aren't they? But this does include Europa Conference League games. So if we just say for it to include domestic games only, they're still top, 49, 44 for Liverpool, Bournemouth. Where are Fulham in this? Fulham here, 21 in the last 6. So let's have a look at that Chelsea selection that we put together because we could adapt it. And I think this video is going on for a while, so we're going to jump to the BetSlip Generator after this. I didn't have a plan for this video, you see. I've not been able to, usually I research the videos before, write down what I'm going to, all the best stats and stuff that I've found, but, it's Christmas Eve as I'm recording this, so give me a break, yeah? So Chelsea to have over 4.5 shots on target takes this to 3s. What we can do is just open this game again, and we can use the results tab to see how many shots they have been having at home in the Premier League. And total shots on target for at home, they've had over 4.5 in every game that wasn't against Arsenal or Man City. So I think that's quite interesting. So I know we don't usually go with a lot of options for one game, but I'm quite liking how this one is being built up here. Chelsea to have the most corners, Chelsea to have over 4.5 shots on target, and the result will be Chelsea. If we were to take this off, it goes to 1.95 and we get a 3.25. So you just a little bit less risk in case Fulham do turn up. They're a good side. Most corners still for Chelsea, and Chelsea still to have 5 or more shots. So let me know what you think in the comments about this. A double for the Premier League Boxing Day games. And now what we're going to do is jump to the BetSlip Generator. And first of all, there's been some updates to the engine behind the BetSlip Generator. So it will now give you more games in line with your target odds. Let's go there now and take a look. Here it is then. And what we're going to do, so the target odds here, 3.25, wasn't it? 3.25. And this one, we're going to let it select games from England, Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, because that is the, it's Boxing Day after all. And then we will close the magic sidebar, and then we'll say next 72 hours, so it picks up the games. And we are looking here at 3 items per slip. No, it is a double, isn't it, that we're going for? Should we say 3 just because it is kind of 3 in there? We've got 2 selections on the Chelsea game, but we'll just say 3 so it's a treble. Shots on target and corner match bets not supported yet by the BetSlip Generator. So what we'll do, we'll go over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals, and double chance. And I like these ones at the bottom. Team goals, really do like these selections here. And we'll do this... Right, we'll do this value bets only and see what it brings, but there might not be too many value bets. Let's see. I need a drink of water. So it has generated one here. We've got a treble. These are all value bets, and again, might not be too many value bets to fit into the slip. We'll run again in a moment just to see, but we've got Derby County to score against West Brom. West Brom's manager has joined Valencia, incidentally, so that could be interesting. Morecambe to score at Carlisle. Not too far a trip, that, to be honest. And then Salford to score against Barrow. So this is a value bet selection. It's 1% value. I'll save it just in case we don't get any more. So that's saved. And then we run again and we don't get any more. Just the way the slip can work sometimes. So we'll take value bets off and we will sort by value just to see if it does pick up any. So we've got -8, -8, -11. Yeah, so not too many value bets if you're making trebles, which is it's to be expected, guys, to be honest. When you're doing multiples, you reduce the value drastically unless you're picking only value bets, of course. So we will go with one of these. And let's actually sort by the probability. This can be the official machine pick. What were the odds here? 3.25. So it must really be slim pickings. You can see here, it'll guide you as well on the co-pilot section. So if you tone this down, you'll get more games of this. If you turn this down. So one of the ones that it's saying to turn down is the home and away goals. So we will take this. And this can act as a tutorial for you if you're new to the tool. We can tone this one down. That's 60%. That should be okay. Over 2.5 goals, over 1.5 goals. I tell you what, let's add in a home victory, shall we? So we've got one here. This, again, it's negative value. Some of these might be value bets, but overall it's negative value. 2.6. I'm quite liking this one, actually. We'll just keep having a look down here. 2.59. So we've got Blackburn to score against Sunderland. This is going to be the official pick for the machine. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I think it's pretty good, actually. Blackburn to score. Blackburn have been in good form. A few narrow victories, though. 1-0s here and there. Newcastle or win. 1.25, quite low for me, but the machine can do what he wants. Or she. It's probably a he. I made him. So Grimsby away. Grimsby at home to Harrogate. Harrogate to score a goal in that game. 1.53. 2.6 odds. So again, the BetSlip Generator here is trying its best to get the odds that we had, but it can't at the moment. So this is the slip for the machine. Let's just go back to the Premier League because I want to do some quickfire predictions and I want to hear yours in the comments as well. So I'm going to do a prediction for every single Premier League game. Let's go there now. So Man City, Everton, I think this is going to be a 1-0 victory for City. I think they will get over the line just about. Chelsea, Fulham, 3-1 to Chelsea. I think Fulham might take the lead and then Chelsea will come back. Cole Palmer will score or assist in that game. Bournemouth against Palace. I'm going to go Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 0. Should I do it like the old Sky Sports radio presenter person? Newcastle United, Aston Villa. I think this could be a Boxing Day thriller, which rhymed. I think we're going to see a 3-3 game there. Let's hope. Southampton, we've got them double chance, so I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton. Nottingham Forest, Tottenham, tough one. Really tough one. I think this one could go either way in terms of the game being so tight or Spursy, shall we say. But I'm going to go with the sort of former option, which is more tight. And I'm going to actually go with a 1-0 Forest win. 1-0 Forest win. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, because I don't think that'll be a too common suggestion. Wolves, Manchester United. We didn't cover this game, but Wolves to score, definitely. You just don't know what you're going to get with Man United at the minute. I think with every damning defeat, there is an interesting case for Amorim just shaking things up and completely changing the personnel, because Xerxes, wow, couldn't even control the ball in the previous game. Bruno Fernandes, Ahmad, who I like, Garnacho, who I like, they cannot finish their dinner. They cannot finish their dinner. They need a proper striker at that club that can finish the chances they make, because against Bournemouth they created over 2 XG and lost 3-0, and they didn't have a penalty or anything. You know, they just created good chances, edge of the box sort of thing, and they couldn't even get the shots on target. So I don't know. Wolves could win this game. I need to watch more of Wolves with the new manager. So, you know, they won 3-0 last game, didn't they, away at Leicester. So I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves. I'm going to say more misery for Manchester United. Let me know what you think about that in the comments and get your predictions in. If anybody gets the results right of these, I will give you 3 months. You don't have to get the scoreline right, but just get the result right, okay? And I will check. If anybody gets every result right, I will give you 3 months of Odd Alerts Pro. Liverpool, Leicester, I'm going to go 5-1 to Liverpool. Because Leicester, I mean, they need to get Iverson back in net. Danny Ward, what are they thinking? Did they not watch him when they got relegated? Seriously. So that has been my Premier League Boxing Day predictions show extravaganza. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a rushed one. I can feel it in my veins. But if you've got any value out of it, if you've enjoyed it at all, please let me know in the comments. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you're having a great day, time, period, whatever you're doing across this time. And yeah, enjoy your day. Enjoy the football, more importantly. And I will see you in the next one.